I hope that you got a chance to listen yesterday and watch the video of Douglas explaining about the Passover meal. Today I'd like to tell you the story of the Last Supper that Jesus shared with his disciples and the events in the Garden of Gethsemane afterwards. The day of the Passover meal had arrived, and Jesus asked two of his disciples, Peter and John, to go ahead and make things ready for the meal that he wanted to share with them. So they did that. When the hour came, Jesus reclined on the seats with his apostles, and he looked around at them and he said, I've really wanted to share this meal with you before I suffer, because I tell you that I'm not going to eat again with you until the kingdom of God has been fulfilled. Jesus took the cup and he shared it among them, and he said, I tell you that I'm not going to drink from the fruit of the vine until the kingdom of God has been fulfilled. After supper, he took the bread and he broke it, and he gave thanks, and he said to them, this is my body which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me. Then he took the cup and he divided it among them, and he said, this is my blood in the new covenant. Drink this in remembrance of me. Then he said, but one of you that's among me is going to betray me. Now you can imagine the disciples, they couldn't quite believe this, and they looked around wondering who it was going to betray him. Jesus said that it was not going to go well for that person. But these things had to happen because they had been decreed that they would happen. After the meal, Jesus went out to the Mount of Olives as usual, and his disciples followed him. When they reached the place, Jesus said to them, wait here and pray. Make sure you don't fall into temptation. Then he went about a stone's throw away from them. Jesus knelt and he began to pray. He said, Father, if you're willing, take this cup from me. Yet, not my will, but thine be done. Jesus realised that even though this was going to be really tough, he would have to go through with it. We're told that an angel came and strengthened him at this time. We're also told that he prayed in such anguish that the sweat drops rolled from him as if they were drops of blood. After this time of prayer, Jesus rose and went back to his disciples. When he got there, he found that they were fast asleep, exhausted from sorrow. He woke them and he said, pray that you don't fall into temptation. While Jesus was speaking, a crowd suddenly arrived, led by one of the 12. He approached Jesus as if to kiss him. But Jesus said, Judas, are you going to betray the Son of Man with a kiss? When Jesus' followers saw what was happening, they said, Lord, do you want us to strike out with our swords? One of them cut off the right ear of the servant of the high priest. But Jesus said, no more of this. And he touched the man's ear and healed him. Then Jesus looked around at the chief priests and the officers of the temple guard and the elders who had come for him, and he said to them, do you think I'm leading a rebellion? Why have you come with clubs and swords? Every day you saw me in the temple, and yet you didn't lay a hand on me. But this is your hour, when darkness reigns.